morning, friends. Actually, I'm gonna post this tonight, so good evening, but it's good morning for me. I'm popping in because I want to talk about, okay, Roger, say hi.
Please.
Hi.
Leave me alone.
He is literally my shadow, if you haven't noticed. I'm forever eating because I'm in prep. So I eat about 5 meals a day. This is not something that you need to do. There's no magic behind it in terms of like, it strokes your metabolism and keeps the metabolic engine going. It's none of that. It's literally just for me to keep shuttling protein into my body, the amounts of protein that I need to eat. If I tried to eat that in 3 sittings, I would probably like poop a brick or something. I don't know. So that's really the only reason. Digestively, I just can't fathom eating it in 3 meals. One of the questions I get often is like, how many meals a day should I be eating? And honestly, there is no hard and fast rule. However, with the, I usually start everybody in ditch deprivation with a moderate amount of protein to kind of put the feelers out there. Like how much, how close are you coming to meeting that? And gradually, as we work together, my goal is to slowly increase that over time, because protein is muscle sparing. So it's going to keep your muscles on your body. And those of you that are also training with me at the studio and you're lifting, we want that. So, so super important to keep that protein intake relatively moderate. Doesn't have to be like crazy bodybuilder status, like high, but we do want to keep it moderate. And also it's satiating. Like, I think I've said that 1,000 times, right? Like it keeps you fuller longer. And so anytime, I highly encourage you that anytime you are building your meals, is you are looking at your protein source first and foremost. Like, what is my protein gonna be? And then I will figure out the rest around that. Whether it's like, shit, I don't have rice cooked, looks like I'm eating rice cakes on the side, or, you know, just getting creative with what you have carb source wise. So that's one thing. As far as meal timing goes, it's really dependent on your schedule, your preferences. Also would like you to consider, you know, your hunger, your energy, and your cravings, which I asked that in the ditch deprivation check-ins. If you're always like, oh, I'm always hungry around this time, always craving stuff around this time, that's a telltale sign that usually the meal before that typically happens. So like if you're like, oh, at, you know, 2 o'clock, I just am like starving and then I get sugar cravings. Let's look at the meals before that. That's usually an indicator, usually, not always, but a good portion of the time, that something is off with those meals prior. Like you didn't get enough protein in them. Maybe you didn't, there wasn't a source of healthy fat to kind of help slow down the digestion between the protein and the carbs, and the fats will help slow digestion. So it'll keep you feeling fuller a little bit longer. And that doesn't need to be like added fats to your meal, but like, you know, this is super lean protein, but, you know, are you cooking it with like maybe a little bit of olive oil for flavor, or maybe you didn't have a super lean protein and you had something like moderately lean, so like a 90 or like an 86% or something like that. It's going to keep you feeling fuller a little bit longer. So things to consider when you start having like cravings or you feel like you're hungry often. And if you work with me or Alicia for ditch deprivation, you need to communicate that to us so that way we can say like, okay, we need to tweak your macros or guide you on your meals and whatnot prior to. For those of you that are in ditch deprivation, if you are struggling with getting consistent, right? Like that is the biggest key for success in anything really, but specifically when you are trying to achieve a body composition goal or even a healthy goal, right? Like you just want to get healthy and lose, you know, some visceral fat, which is around the abdomen. Super important as we age that this comes down. This is the wider we are around the midsection, the higher our, the rate of possible like heart disease and other, you know, diseases are prevalent. And my nurses can even pop in here, specifically Coach Tara, because she's an ER nurse and she specializes in cardiovascular stuff. So definitely you want to make sure that, you know, we're keeping our midsection fat low, not just for like, hey, I want to have flat abs.
Check these out. See these? See these?
But because we want to live a long time, and I like y'all a great deal, and I want you to live a long time. We need to build consistency in in your meals. So if you're finding like you just can't get a rhythm with like eating all of your meals on point, right? And I'm saying, if I'm telling you, okay, there's a lot of inconsistencies in your foods, that's why your hunger's all over the place and your energy is because I eat the same things because I know I'm gonna wake up and I'm probably gonna feel the same every day. But the reason why, I feel like most of myself, my clients who can get a lot of shit done, is because they're feeling good in their bodies and they can do it without feeling exhausted. You need to get some consistency in your day with your foods, and that means becoming accountable to getting your ass in the kitchen. I'm cooking this, I'm multitasking, but this is 7 minutes. I probably could have finished this and put it on high. This literally is just, my protein is set. I have my protein done for, this is a pound of turkeys. It'll probably only last me like 2 days, but for most normal people, it'll last you, it'll last you probably 3 days worth of proteins if you want to have some other proteins and, other things in other meals. So you're not just eating ground turkey, but, getting some consistency in your meals. So with that being said, if you are a ditch deprivation client, I've been doing something with a couple of my clients, and it's basically a habit change. So for 2 weeks, I need you to focus on breakfast. That is it. I need you to eat other food too, but I need you to perfect your breakfast routine. That's it. The results that you're gonna achieve is a culmination of tiny little fucking habits. That's all it is. You get up, you repeat the habits, and then poof, like however many months from now, oh shit, I lost 5 pounds. Or, a month from now, I lost 5 pounds. Oh shit, like I'm not tired at 2 o'clock anymore. Oh shit, like my skinny jeans are fit. Oh shit, I have a new notch in my belt. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. All the oh shits start adding up when you start changing these old habits. Like maybe you hit snooze 10 times and you don't have time to make breakfast. That shit needs to change. Why does it need to change? Because it's going to, again, I think I said this in another video, is it's going to set up the rest of your day to be in constant catch-up mode, right? So we need to start reverse engineering our habits that are the ones that aren't so good, that are making us feel like we can't catch a break with like our results because we keep doing, the same things or whatever, and we're self-sabotaging, and start correcting them. Changing it up, shocking your system, and telling it, no, we don't do shit the old way anymore because that bitch don't live here no more. The new bitch lives here, and she's the HBIC, the head bitch in charge, okay? So that is your pep talk. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna post this morning. And I know some of you are probably off, some of my nurses, you guys got some crazy shifts, so you're off. And also, if you are in ditch, I can't say that right today, ditch deprivation, and you want me to send you, it's 2 options for breakfast. Quit getting shiny object syndrome. Quit sounding like a 3-year-old that's like, I don't want to eat that today. Like, just put your big girl panties on and do the damn thing. There's option A and there's option B. If you're in ditch deprivation, you pay me to help you figure this shit out. So Alicia and I sat and we brainstormed yesterday. We're looking at their food logs and I'm like, there are so many wild inconsistencies. One day there's 7 grams of protein for breakfast. The other day there's 30. The other day there's 2. Like, let's build some consistency starting with breakfast. You have 2 options. I'm telling you what the hell to eat. You can't get any easier than that. We work on that for 2 weeks. When I look at your food logs after 2 weeks and I see that you put a valiant effort into eating one of those 2 options, there is instructions exactly like how to cook the thing, what you can use, what what kind of options you have. Once we see that, then we move on to the next food habit of, okay, week 2, we're gonna focus on this. And it's gonna probably be client specific at that point. Like, okay, we have your breakfast style in, you kind of lose it at lunch. Let's figure out lunch. Or lunch looks really good, you kind of lose it at dinner. Let's, try to work on dinner. So